I would like to introduce you to Matthew O'Connor, who is the Dean of the School of Business and the host, the Quinnipiac host for this program. So enjoy the day.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much, Heidi, for getting us started. That was a great introduction to Quinnipiac University. As Heidi said, I'm Matt O'Connor. I'm the Dean of the Business School, and I'm absolutely delighted to have all of you here with us today. I think you're going to have a great day. We have a wonderful program for you, and I think you're going to learn a lot about things like how to get a business plan started, effective communications, break-even analysis, so on and so forth. So we've got a really exciting program for you. I think you're going to walk away with some new ideas, some new skills, some new concepts to help you with your business plans that you're going to be developing over the spring semesters. I know all of you are bright, dedicated, hardworking students, and you're coming from some of the best high schools here in Connecticut. Your parents, your teachers, all of us, we expect great things from you over the next few years. I know there are some seniors here, some sophomores, juniors, and freshmen. But I want to let you know that we believe in you guys. We think that you are the future not only here in Connecticut, but for the entire country. And that's why we're so proud to have you here working with us today. A big part, I think, of your ability to advance has to do with your teachers in high school. Later it'll be maybe with your instructors in college, but right now it's with your teachers in high school. And I just want to ask, do we have any of the teachers here with us today? Can you raise your hand? So what I'd like to ask all of you as students to do is to, if you guys could stand up for a second, the teachers from the various high schools, if you could stand up for a second. Could I get a round of applause and appreciation for your instructors? So thank you very much. So despite what you hear maybe on the news, despite what you may read in the newspaper or follow on blogs, the future is very bright for you guys. So there's a lot of things that are very positive, and I think as you experience the rest of your high school years and head off into college, you're going to find that it is a very bright future. People believe in you, not only in your high schools, but here at Quinnipiac and other colleges around the country. So we just want to get you guys to make sure you have a positive attitude, that you're going to work hard, because there's a lot of success in store for you in the future. Right now, what I'd like to do is just get you set up for our keynote speaker. Today we have Tom Capone. Tom is chairman and CEO of www.mtpusa.com. This is one of the fastest growing telecommunications companies in the United States. Starting with cellular phones and services in 1983, Tom Capone has since delivered voice, data, wireless, and wireline telecom and IT services to over 300 of the Fortune 1000 companies in the United States. Mr. Capone's clients and strategic relationships include a third of the Fortune 100, the Department of Homeland Security, FEMA, and the U.S. Secret Service. Mr. Capone has also recently accepted the position of Executive Director of the New York Distance Learning Association, which is going to be relaunched in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut in 2012. Please join me in welcoming Tom Capone.
Where do we begin? I know that we're going to do a hard stop at 9:55, so I have to give you 28 years of voice, data, wireless, wireline, cellular, paging, internet, 28 years worth of stuff in less than an hour. It's going to be tough, but we're going to do our best, okay? When I was in high school, I didn't know what I wanted to be, but I knew I wanted to make a lot of money. I knew that, okay? And a good way to make a lot of money was to be a doctor, a lawyer, you know, dentist, something cool like that. I wanted to be wealthy. I wanted to park at fire hydrants. I wanted MD license plates. I wanted to have a cool American Express card that said MD on it, okay? So I was the president of the Future Physicians Club when I was in high school. I had it all mapped out. Gonna be a doctor, Gonna get a trophy wife, gonna make a lot of money, gonna work real hard for a couple years, and I'm gonna like coast, okay? That's not a good reason. That's not a good reason to pick a career, okay? The biggest lesson that I learned is you have to do what you love. You have to do what you love, okay? Now, I always wanted cool things. I wanted a car phone. In 1983, and it's obviously too small for you to say, but this is a picture of me in my little sports car, because I was very spoiled. I had a Corvette convertible, okay, very, very spoiled, all right? And I had a car phone, which I could not afford, because I had no job. When the guy sold me the car phone, he goes like, you know, if you gave us leads for cellular phones, I'll give you free airtime for your, I said, that's great, because I don't have a job. I can't afford this, okay? The funny thing about it was, I also had an Apple IIe computer. I don't know why I bought a computer. I think I was going to write a novel or something. You know, you don't know why you do things sometimes, okay? So you know what? I'm going to take that computer. My father was in construction. So you know what? I'm going to do a mailing to all my father's contractors. And I'm going to see if I can sell some car phones and get some free airtime. I'm going to go back to school. Okay? Well, this mailing went out. It was phenomenally successful. And it was so successful, like, I'm going to be in the car phone business. I didn't plan it. I wasn't expecting to do this. I had my life all mapped out. I'm going to be a physician. I'm going to be a doctor. Okay? You don't know what you're going to do, but I could tell you what. If you live with passion, if you figure out what you love to do, the money will follow. That's really the underlying theme. Now, how many people, you know, in the audience today think that they might possibly want to do something like as an entrepreneur? Self-employed entrepreneur, okay? The cool thing about being an entrepreneur is your boss will probably never be a jerk, okay? You know what? Think about it. You will have the ability to do things that maybe under normal circumstances, somebody says, oh, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to pursue that. That's not in the plan, okay? There's nothing more depressing to me to think that, man, if I had passion to do something, if I wanted to pursue something, and I'm being told that I can't do it. This website that you see here, MTP, we were in business for a very long time, and our business was called Ultracom. It still exists. If you call 888-ULTRACOM, that business still exists, okay? But as I said, the first thing that we ever did was cellular phones. When the 9X model, you guys are way, 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 way too young to remember this. But there used to be car phones. There were no such thing as cell phones. There was no such thing as handheld phones. You had to drill them into the car. The phones were $3,000. And it was about $1 a minute to make a phone call. Now, what did you do for a living? What did you do for a living that you needed to make a phone call from the car for $1 a minute? Very good chance you were a very big company. You were a very, very, you might be a celebrity. Okay, you're a CEO, a CFO, you're somebody very important in a very large company. Because again, how could you justify making this phone call? That was the ironic thing. I didn't see this coming, but because we were selling cellular phones, for the first couple years of our life, the only people that we did business with were really big companies and really important people. If you fast forward to today, we do have 300 of the Fortune 1000 as customers for something. But it started because of cellular phones. It wasn't because I was a great salesman. It wasn't because we were in the, it was because we were one of the only companies that had it, and we were in the right place at the right time. Our company, in the last 28 years, morphed into every area of voice, data, wireless, wireline. MTP was born because we were told to go to a meeting in Manhattan. Our rep from Motorola said, listen, you got to go to this meeting. I said, I don't want to go. I'm busy. It's like, if you don't go to this meeting, I'm never going to talk to you again. I was like, I'll go to the meeting. I'll go to the meeting. It was at the Maritime Building in Manhattan. Now, this is one of the oldest buildings in New York City. It was like a movie set. I go up to the 11th floor. I'm looking at the Statue of Liberty. I'm looking at all these wonderful buildings. It's like, well, what do you guys do? I say, well, we're like the Teamsters of the sea. Oh, I know what that is. My father's the head of a labor union, etc. What are you trying to do? And we wanted to offer value-added services to their membership. I said, oh, I get it. I can sell them the cellular phones that I have. Okay? Well, it turned out that their membership were companies like Sealand Maersk, the Coast Guard, Norton Lilly, the Port Authority of New York. Just with that one meeting, we got introduced to companies that on my best day I could probably never get an introduction to, much less get an audience. Okay? You keep your eyes open, you keep your ears open, you go to meetings. You go to events like this when the opportunity arises. Okay? If you follow your passion, if you have excitement about what you do, the money will follow. Now again, I can give you lots of examples, and I will do my best to give you some of the highlights, okay? But one of the things that I wanted to point out was that we became a telecom and a technology company. It was not planned. The internet changed everything. The concept of having a domain name, a URL, if anybody Googled your names, what would they find? Would they find you? Would they find your Facebook page? Would you be happy if they found your Facebook page? Is there anything on Facebook that maybe you say, oh, gee, I really wasn't so proud of that, etc.? One of the things that you can do in today's digital age is get your own domain name, right? Just like I reserved Thomas Capone, so if anybody ever Googled me, the first thing they would get would be something that I would control, something that I would be able to control the information on. Now, to win you guys over, okay, everybody gets free gifts today. Everybody gets free gifts just for showing up. Would you like a domain name? Normally they're free. Normally they're not free. You email me, you contact me, you can have your own domain name for your own name for free. It's the beginning of your digital footprint. Okay, the beginning of your digital, and that is the future. Now, we were here not too long ago presenting at Quinnipiac, and this is my blog, okay? And this was me presenting a couple weeks ago to actually my son's class, which was kind of cool to have that happen, okay? But I want to show you something else, okay? I'm going to jump around a little bit, okay? How many know Steve Jobs, right? Okay. If I said the name Steve Wozniak, what would you say? Do you know the name Steve Wozniak, anybody? Okay. Interestingly enough, okay, I'm going to give you the quick version of this. I was at another university that we do business with not too long ago, and it was Entrepreneur Day, okay? Entrepreneur Day at the university. I wanted to go to this. Oh, no, you know, you can't go. It's like it's already sold out. This thing's been planned out for, and our keynote speaker is Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple. Okay? Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, the guys that created Apple. Like, I gotta go. How can I not go to this? Oh, no, don't bother, you can't. Said, well, then I got the flyer, and I'm looking, it's like, oh, wait, they have sponsors? They have sponsors for the event? I'm like, can I be a sponsor? Can I be the sponsor? Okay? Well, it turned out that I went to the event, and the reason that we had the relationship with the university in the first place was because we were helping students get jobs. We were helping them to find jobs in IT and telecom, etc. We were taking our 28 years of business and helping them. So being creative, I made a badge. I didn't have permission to do it at the time, but I made a badge that basically said, text jobs. Text the word jobs to 70101. Everybody in this room knows what texting is. Everybody knows in this room. You text more than you talk on your cell phones. I know that, okay? So I had this badge, and I'm walking around the room, saying, you know what, we're going to have a great day, etc. Well, here's what happened, ironically. Steve Wozniak comes up to me and says, how come it doesn't say was? How come it doesn't say text was? It's like, no. This is not a reference to Steve Jobs. This is to get jobs. Oh, okay. And now we're talking. And now we have banter going back and forth. And all of a sudden now, I'm not just a spectator in the room, I'm one-on-one with Steve Wozniak sitting at the table talking about, we become the center of attention. And I said to him, I said, you know, my son goes to Quinnipiac University. Would you consider making this same presentation that you made at Quinnipiac? He goes, yeah, okay. Okay. So he gives me his business card, which, again, turns out to be kind of the coolest business card I've ever seen in my life. First of all, it's metal, okay? And it's got a puzzle on it. And if you solve the puzzle, he sends you a free iPhone or an iPad, okay? Kind of cool. Now, I'm not supposed to be doing this, but I'm going to show this to everybody today. If you could figure out the puzzle, you also will get the free iPhone and iPad, okay? My son cracked the code. My son cracked the code, okay? Kind of cool, kind of cool. But here is the point. You make your own luck. I went from, oh, don't even bother going. It's sold out. You can't go. Well, I have to go. Okay? There was no way that I was not going. But more importantly, I was going to go and I was going to work the room. I was going to do my best to maximize the day. Okay? Since this time, I don't know whether this guy has too much time on his hands or what, but we've been emailing back and forth. Okay? I owe Dean O'Connor an email from Steve, who, again, he said, look, I'm not making a special trip, but when I'm in the area, I will definitely come. Okay? You make your own luck. Now, I've been, again, very diversified. It all started with cellular phones. It all started with cellular phones and service, et cetera. But what happens is the world of telecom and technology has morphed. The world of telecom and technology has changed, okay? The phone companies wanted to sell you movies. The movie companies want to sell you telephone service. The cable, everything has converged. Everything has really blended together, okay? Anybody in this room have a beeper? What's a beeper? Okay? Well, all right, we got to talk, okay? The bottom line is just a couple years ago, okay? Just a couple years ago, this concept of paging and beepers, that was big. That was hot. That was big time. Cell phones took over, okay? I remember when I was growing up, if you had an answering machine, that was a big deal. People actually, a machine, mind you, not voicemail. And they would kid you. They'd say, oh, by the way, you know, what are you, the President of the United States? Got a machine answering your calls? Ha, ha, ha. You know, they would kid you. Today, if you call somebody on a phone, if it rings more than just a couple times, you will subconsciously clear your throat because you're expecting to leave a message. And if you can't leave a message, you're mortified. I can't believe this. I can't believe I can't leave a message. Okay? Texting. Who would have thought that people would send more texts than phone calls? When I was a teenager, you had to have a phone. If you didn't have a phone in your bedroom, you were an outcast, okay? And I'm thinking, oh boy, here it comes. I've got young kids. They're going to come up. They never asked for a phone. They never asked for a phone in their room. I go, this is amazing. It's all texting, okay? It's all texting, all right? I've seen all of this in 28 years. I've seen industries born, okay? Social media. Social media didn't exist just a couple years ago. Who would have predicted that YouTube would have taken over? Who would have taken, what's a Twitter? Right? Well, guess what? YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, who would have predicted? Okay? You don't know where the opportunities are. You don't know where they're going to come from. Okay? Now, because we diversified, we were a very, very big player in conferencing. Audio conferencing, web conferencing, video conferencing. Just a couple years ago, being on a conference call was a big deal. You'd pay like 25 cents a minute. You have 10 people on the call. Okay? This is going to cost hundreds of dollars for a long meeting. All right? Well, now it's free. The same thing that used to pay hundreds of dollars for one meeting, you can have your own free conferencing all the time. Okay? We have people now signing up for free conferencing just for their holiday events or getting family get-togethers because they couldn't travel for the holidays. It was because of conferencing that we got clients like FEMA and the Department of Homeland Security that said, listen, Could you help us with emergency communications? Could you help us with disaster recovery? Okay? Can you help us before the event and after the event? As I said, I sold cellular phones ever since they were really available. If I go back here to mobility, you'll see that there's one little page that we still have up called Haiti Relief. I sold a tremendous number of satellite phones because of the maritime industry. Who in this room has a satellite phone? Because you don't need one, okay? Who in this room has a cell phone? You wouldn't live without it. You wouldn't leave the house without it, okay? Well, you know, before the earthquake hit Haiti, I don't remember the last time we sold a satellite phone. But within hours of the earthquake hitting Haiti a couple years ago, this was our main website. And we were able to ship 900 handheld satellite phones to the relief workers who were leaving to go to Haiti. Because if you didn't bring a satellite phone with you, you weren't going to make any phone calls whatsoever. When opportunity arises, we were there. That's really the underlying theme. Keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. And it was because of these relationships that we formed the strategic partnerships with companies like, or entities like FEMA and US Secret Service and Department of Homeland Security. This was the multimedia presentation that we loaded on our website literally within hours of the earthquake hitting Haiti just a couple years ago. I'll just play just the first couple minutes for it.
Hello, this is Tom Capone, CEO of MTP. As you are aware, on January 12th, tragedy struck Haiti, one of the poorest nations in the Western Hemisphere. When all is said and done, the final death toll may be higher than we can bear.
Now, I'm going to stop it there. I'm very pleased that we were in a position to help, and I'm very pleased that we were in a position to do good work. But this is a great example of technology in action. What you just saw there, that was a voice over visual messaging tool. Kind of cool, okay? What if you were able to send a resume out with that type of technology? What if you were looking for a job or you were interviewing and your prospective employer got thousands of such resumes in the mail, but yours came electronically and told your story live? Would that be cool? Okay. Well, everybody in the room today can have that for free if you'd like it. Another little gift for showing up today. Okay. Now, distance learning. This was the presentation that I made at Penn State for the distance learning world. Okay. I'm just going to give you one real quick example because this is cool. If you guys can guess who the Michael is in this presentation, I'll give you a little special, okay? And I'm only going to play a little couple minutes of this, but this drives home the point. We wanted to say thank you to this very special MTP client.
Michael, Tom, well, how are you? Michael, first of all, I want to thank you for the wonderful, wonderful time that we had at your home in Pennsylvania last night. We just had an outstanding time. Incredibly impressive. Your home is just exquisite. There must have been at least 150 to 200 people there. Certainly 2 buses of people. The tour of your home, you know, just beyond words. My youngest son, Robert, I think
Who's sitting over there? Okay, we'll just hold it. We'll just hold it right there. You don't know who you're going to meet tomorrow. You don't know what the next meeting is going to be. You don't know what the next technology is going to be. Okay? But showing up is half the battle. Showing up and having passion and having interest for what you do. Okay? If I look back to 1983 when I first started in business, I would have predicted, well, no, I'm not going to do this. I mean, I'm going to figure out a way. I'm going to go to med school. I'm going to finish that. I'm going to have my career, et cetera. Okay? You don't know where you're going to be. Okay? Now, here's when you know you're on the right path. Okay? If it's Monday morning and you're happy, you're on the right path. If it's Sunday and you're already thinking about Monday and you're smiling, you're on the right path. Okay? It's a little built-in litmus test that you can go for yourself. Okay? I live in New Jersey, so to come here this morning, I had to get up at 4:30. Okay? Robert, my son who came with me, got up at 5. Okay? No traffic, thank God. All right? But here's the thing. Was it I have to get up at 4:30 or I get to get up at 4:30? See, I get to get up at 4:30, okay? This is not a fake smile. I'm enjoying this. I love this, okay? If anybody in this room really does become an entrepreneur, I'd love to know you. I'd love to work with you, okay? I've been very blessed in the fact that our business has been very, very successful, and we've had wonderful relationships with celebrities and companies, and you know, every day to me is a joy, okay? Now, like if I was in a room like this, I mean, I could never possibly interface with everybody, okay? But you know what I could do? I could say, you know what? If you text the word Tom, T-O-M, if you text the word Tom to 70101, text the word Tom to 70101, okay? You'd get my mobile business card. You get my mobile business card, okay? Now, the first person who gets a response, because I know you got cell phones in your pocket, okay? The first person that gets a response gets a prize, okay? As everybody goes madly for their phones, all right? I don't know what your passion is. You might not know what your passion is. You might not know, you might have to go through many iterations, many iterations of deciding what you want to do, what your passion is, what you're interested in, okay? But you know what? You'll know it when you feel it, and when you feel it, you'll never let go. You got it? What's it say? Okay. I think we might have had a tie. So what's your name? And what was your name? Okay. Would you like that for yourself with your own name? You got it. Done. Okay? Well, by the way, everybody in the room can have that too for free. All right? Okay? Everybody in the room. Okay? How cool will that be when you put that on your resume or on your college application? Okay? Or you have your own domain name saying, you know, and here's my resume online. You know what? Stand out from the crowd. Okay? Show up and prove to everybody that you got passion. Magic will happen. Magic will happen. Now, I will show you one more thing, and then we're going to, so when I did the presentation, and I think we're still pretty good for time, okay? When I did my presentation at Penn State not too long ago, okay, we built this little special website just for Penn State. Okay, just for Penn State. So when I was on stage, I said, oh, all I got to do is pull my website up. All my presentations are preloaded. Anything that we possibly might want to talk about. Our work with, you know, celebrities, like here was Mia Hamm, the soccer star, and here's Michael, who we're going to tell you who that is later. Okay, another prize in the waiting, okay? But my main presentation was death by PowerPoint. I said, guys, first of all, you don't want me going first. Please let me go last. Because if I go first, anybody following me with a PowerPoint is not going to be happy. They're not going to be happy, okay? And I was able to load this voice-over visual messaging presentation and just like walk off the stage and let it do my work for me, okay? That's cool technology. That's what's known as asynchronous technology, where conferencing is synchronous, like real time, etc. This is the world that we live in. This is the world of unlimited distance learning. Unlimited, lifelong, global distance learning. So what started for me with buying a cellular phone, a car phone that I could not afford, that I had no business buying, okay, it turned into a lifelong, passionate dream of business. Telecommunications, IT, voice, data. So now we have the relationships like Homeland Security, Roche, Lilly, Pfizer, GE Capital, Stanley Works in New Britain, etc. Okay? You never know where your path is going to go. Okay? So that means that every single person in this room has opportunities now that just a couple years ago only a Fortune company could afford. Just a couple years ago, you'd have to be a GE Capital to afford the technologies that you have at your disposal, in some cases, for free. Okay? It's a wonderful, wonderful time to be in business. It's a wonderful time to be in school. I would trade places with anybody in this room at any given moment. To go back in time and know what the opportunities are. You know, they say that the economy's weak. The reason that we're presenting at schools and universities is because we have 100% placement. There's not a single student that we've ever come across that we were not able to give a paid internship or make a connection for a permanent job. As a result of my last presentation here at Quinnipiac, we've already actually hired some folks who just even for the winter break as paid interns, okay? Whether they stayed with us or whether they get paid, all of this to me is incredibly positive energy, and if we can give back and if we can take these opportunities, I mean, I look at everybody in this room right now and I say, you know, man, I would trade places with you, okay? It's wide, wide, wide open. And I'll say one more thing. The weak economy will be your best friend. The weak economy will create more opportunity and more jobs for you, but you got to know where to look, okay? So it will be, will you get to wake up at 4:30 or do you have to wake up at 4:30? Do you get to go to work on Monday morning or do you have to go to work on Monday morning? Now, in my other presentation, which I don't have loaded, we've got lots of really cool slides, but I'm going to just say, can you bear with me? Can you visualize a shark? If I said that there was a big shark right here, will you give me that one, okay? A nice big shark, okay? When sharks swim, they breathe. It's called obligate ram ventilation for all you biology fans out there, okay? Obligate as in you have to do it, like obligation, okay? Ram, just like a ram induction, like on a jet engine, okay? And then ventilation, like breathing, okay? When a shark swims, the water flows over its gills. If a shark does not move forward, it's not breathing, and it dies. If a shark stops moving forward, it can't breathe and it dies. And this is why in the world of biology it's called obligate ram ventilation, okay? You are about to embark on lifelong learning. Your graduation from high school is the beginning. It's not the ending. Graduation from college is the beginning. It's not the end. It's lifelong learning. Just like a shark, if you stop moving forward, you die. Now, you might have to go on a squiggly line to get there. You might have to go over barriers, around barriers. You might be temporarily, but you always have to keep moving. If anybody asks you, what did this guy talk about? What was the presentation about? You should be able to say it was about obligate ram ventilation. There you go. And I didn't get hit in the head with the ball. Did you notice? Does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have anything that they want to talk about at all, since we've got like another 5-10 minutes to go? Anybody at all?
I think they want to know who Michael was.
No, it was not. No, it was not. I'm not going to say it until you actually guess, but I'll be here, we're going to be here all day, and the person, trust me, we will make it public. Okay? Let me ask you this question. Okay? I'll ask you something that you can reflect on for the day. Okay? Before you came here today, you had a preconceived notion of maybe what the day would be like, who you would meet, who you would talk to, what you were going to get out of the day, okay? Maybe some of you came here today because your parents said, get out of bed, you gotta go. Maybe. Maybe you looked forward to it. Maybe you have a calendar that had this date circled on your calendar, said, I can't wait, I'm gonna go, looking forward to it, etc. Okay? Everybody is going to have their own path. Everybody's going to have their own motivation. Okay? Maybe a friend of yours said, I'm going, do you want to go with? Okay? But just reflect on the day and reflect on how you're now different for coming. And this is just the beginning of the day. Okay? That's all I would say. You know, don't go through a single day without being able to reflect back on it and say, you know what? This was a great day, and I'm better off for it. I learned something. I got free stuff. Okay? That's basically the take home. Okay? Make your own luck, and you could find passion in every single thing that you do, in every place that you go. Thank you.